Well, we have continuing fallout from the English leaders' debate last night, anger in Quebec, and a campaign in the home stretch with a very uncertain outcome. Let's bring in three colleagues now from the National Press Gallery. Tonda MacCharles is a parliamentary reporter with the Toronto Star. Joël-Denis Bellavance is the parliamentary bureau chief for La Presse. And Ian Bailey is a parliamentary reporter with the Globe and Mail. It's good to see you all. Thanks for taking time to speak with me tonight. Appreciate it. Let's talk about debates and the stretch run for the election campaign. And Tonda, let me start with you. What effect do you think last night's debate will have on the outcome of the campaign in terms of opportunities or lost opportunities for the leaders? It was a big moment, but who was able to take advantage of it and who wasn't?
Boy, it was from my perspective and looking at it through voters' lenses, I think it was a terrible sort of stage for any voter to get clear answers. Who took advantage of that? I would say, on the one hand, Mr. O'Toole survived because I don't think there was a clean sort of attack by Mr. Trudeau on Mr. O'Toole's either platform or credibility in the way that he's been trying to make the case of late. So, he had a big target painted on his back, Mr. Trudeau did, with all four of his rivals after him. So, in that respect, I think we have to concede that Mr. O'Toole kind of comes out a little bit on top of those exchanges. And I also think there was a second winner in the debate, in a sense, to use that expression,
right.
Winner. Monsieur Blanchet, I think he scored some points for his own campaign in Quebec.
Ian, let me turn to you. What do you think? What are your thoughts on what we saw last night and what it means for the campaign?
Well, I don't think the Liberal leader, Mr. Trudeau, got a grand chance to sort of talk about or explain in grand terms what another term would look like, and that may not be great for him. He was on the offense. He did get to punch back at some of the criticism he took, and so that probably works for him. What struck me about the debate was Ms. Paul of the Green Party. She was very strong, very clear. You look at her performance last night, and you kind of wonder how she would have done as the leader of another party. At this point, given the turmoil in the Green Party, it's unclear whether the structure, get out the vote, money, those things are there for the Greens to, or even frankly, sort of a cohesive, united kind of aspect of the party to make the most of her strong performance last night. But those two stood out to me. And Mr. O'Toole, I agree with Tonda. He came through pretty much unharmed, got his points out, so it was probably a good night for him as well.
Joël-Denis, what are your thoughts?
Well, ironically, the Bloc Quebecois leader, François Blanchet, I think is the winner from a Quebec perspective, because he received as a gift from the sky the question on identity politics, namely the secular law in Quebec and Bill 96, that is a bill that is to protect the Quebec language in Quebec. And Mr. Blanchet received the questions and seemed to be taken by surprise by it, but afterwards, all we're talking about is this in Quebec now, because he says that the Quebec was attacked and during that debate, and it allowed Mr. Blanchet to bring back identity politics, which he had tried to do at the beginning of the campaign but failed to do. And now I see some wins in the sales of the Bloc Québécois, and the Liberal Party, which had was hoping to win about 10 seats away from the Bloc Québécois, I think they can nix that ambition today.
Yeah, Tonda, I think it's, I'm watching the fallout from this today, and it's kind of an odd twist that Quebec concerns have now featured more significantly in the English language debate than they might have figured in the French debates because of this anger in Quebec over the moderator's opening question to the Bloc leader about discrimination and racism in Quebec. What are your thoughts on, what you think the parties can do to adjust to that? What are they thinking today in terms of what that might do to the campaigns in Quebec?
Well, look, I think that what it shows is not just two parallel universes in terms of these campaigns, but I think it actually does matter, not just in Quebec, but for the impact that whatever fallout from that has in the races in Quebec, and what impact that will have a knock-on effect in terms of who gets to form the next minority government. They need seats, both the Conservatives and the Liberals in Quebec. So does the effect of last night serve to shore up the Bloc Québécois vote in many ridings? After actually yesterday's outing by Mr. Legault, a lot of people thought, maybe the Conservatives are going to come out ahead here. But right now, today, I think that the nationalist sentiment is rising, and so that is going to hurt both the Liberals and the Conservatives to, I think, increase the seats they needed to in Quebec in the race for a minority government.
Right. It's kind of interesting, Ian, that we look at the fallout from what's happening here in the province of Quebec with reaction to the debate and what that might mean for the party chances there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we've seen the other party leaders, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. O'Toole in particular, sort of speak out on this situation at the debate last night. We've heard Premier Legault today weigh into the election yet again, and he's quite angry and more blunt today perhaps than he was yesterday. So it seems to me this is going to develop in unexpected ways in the days leading to September 20th in Quebec. We'll have to see how this plays out, but it's quite a turn, quite an unexpected turn in the debate. Sort of the way that this has worked out, this little twist at the opening of the debate last night.
Just quickly, Joël-Denis, what are your thoughts on how, Aaron O'Toole and Justin Trudeau were out today quickly sort of saying that the question was inappropriate, it was a bit of an attack on Quebec, but of course the response to that coming out of Quebec and from Mr. Blanchet was, where were you last night? Why were you just saying this last night? Does it look like a little bit like they're late to the Defend Quebec party today?
According to Yves-François Blanchet, yes, they're late to the party because they should have said what they said this morning, last night, and not in French but in English. So it's a twist that is, I think, just remarkable because the needle, the poll needles was not moving much in Quebec, but this I think has the potential to move the needle very much in Quebec and not to the Liberals' favor. It's going to go, as Tonda mentioned rightly, the national sentiment will rise, and whatever that does, it does serve the more nationalist party. And currently, which party is the more national? Obviously, it's the Bloc Quebecois. And I think the headlines coming from the debate last night was strongly, showing that this was a huge attack on Quebec. And I expect the headlines to continue over the weekend. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next poll in Quebec conducted after the fallout of this debate.
We'll all be looking forward to that. Tonda, it's to a lot of people, myself included, it's pretty remarkable that we are just over a week away from voting day. In fact, the advanced polls are underway now. And Justin Trudeau is still facing questions again today about, and in the debate last night, why he called the election when he did. Why has it been so hard for him to put that timing question to rest? And what effect does it have on his ability to sell his ideas to the voters?
Well, look, I think he continues to face it because I think he struggles to articulate the answer to the question that he posed when he said, here are the choices in front of Canadians. This is the most consequential election. But then I'm not sure he's solidified his answer in a clear, pointed way that pierces through people's fatigue with the pandemic, fatigue with politics, fatigue with politics as usual. And so he's still getting the question because his answer, I guess, is unsatisfactory to a lot of people. Look, I think that will we still continue to hear it? Does the mind get more concentrated in the final week when people get into the ballot box either over the weekend or next Monday? Will the choice that he's trying to put forward crystallize in their minds, or will they just be fed up, or will they show up? Will there be a great voter antipathy and apathy? Those are huge questions that remain in the last 10 days.
Yeah, Ian, I guess to Tonda's point, we talk about what will crystallize in the mind of the voters. I guess the big challenge for the Liberals is, will they crystallize around the vision piece as a ballot box issue, or will they crystallize around their anger over the timing piece, which is bad news?
Well, alone among the parties competing in this election, the Liberals knew when the election was going to come. And when the history of this election is written, it will be, I think, this question of why the Liberals were unable to have a concrete, bulletproof answer for why the election was called, something they could take on the campaign trail. Why they didn't have it done before the campaign began is a great mystery in all of this. One thing I'll be interested to see in this is the ratings for both the French language debate and the English language debate. to see how, obviously the matter with Quebec is going to have a significant effect. But the larger question, I'm curious about how many Canadians were watching this debate when they watched the whole thing. All those numbers will be interesting. We don't have them now.
Right.
They should be coming, I guess, in due course. And that'll be interesting as well in sort of giving us a sense of the impact of this debate, because it'll be interesting to see how many Canadians watch this 2-hour exercise all the way through.
Look, I think that's going to show up really quickly. By Sunday or Monday, we're going to have polls that will track the voter sentiment from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we'll know before Monday where that thing landed and what, if in fact it moved any dials. And you know what, I'm thinking that it's not whether they saw the debate last night, it's whether they've seen clips, they've talked to their friends, they've heard the buzz about it. That's what's going to change.
Right, but and Joël-Denis, the big...
Totally agreed with you, Tonda, but I'll be interested also to see how many people actually watch this thing. But you're absolutely right.
It was hard
the
to
ripple
watch,
effects
wasn't
of this will go on.
Right, but the importance of the debate, right, is that it's this whole idea of the opportunity it presents, especially in a deadlocked race. This is the chance for somebody to break out and actually, whoever is watching, here's the vision, here's why I'm different than that person, and here's why you need or should be voting for me, because I can offer you this kind of Canada. But I think we all agree that we didn't really get that last night. So, Joël-Denis, quickly, a final word to you. What are you watching for in the next final few days of the campaign here?
Well, how the situation will evolve in Quebec, because as Tonda mentioned, this will determine the color of the next government. It's going to be a minority government, but if the Bloc Quebecois manage to serve a big way on what happened last night, it means trouble for at least the Liberal Party. Will they be able to hang on to their seats in Quebec? And maybe trouble for the Conservative Party. Will they be able to make the wins they need also to form government? So very, very important next few days in Quebec as a result of what happened last night in an English debate. That's the irony of it all.
I know. All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for your perspectives this evening. Good to talk to you all, and we'll talk to you again. Take care, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Okay.